are we going back to 12% e-commerce? Before coronavirus, e-commerce was 13% of all retail transactions. There are estimates that say it got as high as 30%, and there's some people who say it only got as high as 25%, but it definitely doubled. It grew by 10 years in 2 months. So from the bag of chips you buy down at the grocery store to the thing you buy on Amazon, total number of transactions in America doubled, which was not expected to happen for many, many years. I don't think we're going back to 12%, particularly because baby boomers who, had never adopted e-commerce and have now adopted it are going to stay. They're in for the long haul. Just a little bit of e-commerce news for you. Walmart's e-commerce sales are up 74%, which is crazy. Amazon is reportedly in talks to buy JCPenney, which is kind of interesting. I wonder what they'll do with that retail, if they'll turn those into their retail stores and just buy that retail footprint. Walmart is getting rid of Jet.com. If you have your stuff listed there, you can pull it down. It didn't work out. They bought it from Yahoo, I believe. Pier 1 is closing all of its stores. So, malls are dead, basically. Target said its online sales grew 141%. That is the amount of online sales Target already had. That is freaking wild. So Target says not just up 100%, up 150%. So e-commerce is going to stay high. Facebook announced Shops, which over the next 6 months, we'll see. It has the potential to be an Amazon/Google shopping competitor. It really does, if they do it right, because of the number of users they have and because of the payment connections between ShopPay and Stripe and all that. The question is, will they execute it on it well? We'll find out. Right now, it's, we don't know yet, so we'll see. Shopify announced a whole bunch of stuff at Shopify Unite yesterday. One of them is native split payments. So Afterpay, Sezzle, Klarna, they're all essentially going to be out of business, which brings up this conversation in software as a service for e-commerce retailers, which is like, kind of want to build the app and sell it before you end up on the roadmap of the place you're integrated with, because that's a bummer for those apps. And Shopify announced a bunch of other crazy stuff, including a native integration to OneClickUpsell. So that is good for us. We're going to be natively integrated to their payment gateway pretty soon here. So you won't need, Stripe, Braintree, Authorized.net. You should be able to use Shopify and OCU pre-purchase, post-purchase, in-checkout upsells, thank you page upsells. The whole thing will work, which is really exciting. But yeah, split pay, it's pretty sweet for Shopify because split payments in almost every case, especially for higher value, even for low value products, they increase conversion rate. They just work. So that's big. And then they also announced today that they're fully distributed. They're not bringing their offices back. They're basically getting rid of, they're going to, by 2021, only have a few offices. They're shutting down all their offices. Everybody's working virtual. And I think that this kind of signals a real change in commercial real estate. Like all these big companies are realizing that the way that we do it, which is mostly remote, is better, or at least as good, let's say, and that they don't need the overhead of these big offices that are hundreds of millions of dollars. And so that's kind of interesting and cool. And last thing, which is related to us, which is Spotify, podcast audio streaming service, free service, licensed the Joe Rogan Experience, which is the number 2 or 3 podcast in the world, for reportedly somewhere in the $100 million range for the next several years. They're going to get his full videos. They're going to take a crack at YouTube at being a video platform. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, number one, if this works for them and they become a video platform as well as audio, Spotify ads are going to be freaking the next frontier for us. They're going to be cheap and awesome. And I know they have ads now, which some people in Ribbon have played with. I've not played with them yet because older women are not so much on Spotify, but like this signals they've been poaching other famous people. They got Amy Schumer, they got a couple other people. If they do this right and become a real player in media consumption, not just music, but podcasts and videos, they're a big platform, and that could be really wonderful for ads.